Hey everybody, welcome to Ongaku Concept. This week I am doing a transcription episode. I haven't done one of these since October, I don't think. And I wanted to just go through a song and work out the melody and possibly the chords as well if I have time. Since it's December, I decided to keep with the winter music theme that I have going. And we'll be looking at Frappe Snowland, also known as Sherbet Land, from Mario Kart 64. This was composed by Kenta Nagata. You may have heard his work on the Wind Waker soundtrack, which he was the sound director for. So a lot of the chord changes in here sound a lot like the stuff he has in there. So we're just going to go through it and work out the melody. And like I said, possibly the chords as well, if I have time. And hopefully it'll be a fun learning experience. So, I've got the track open here, the score up here in MuseScore. The astute of you might have noticed that over here, the tempo marking, there's a half note here instead of the usual quarter note. This is because the let me play the song for a second. So it's in common time, which is 4/4 time. However, it's very, very. If I were to write it out that way, it would be very quick. 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and but if you listen to the bass, the beats are half that speed. 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Although I don't think this is in a duple meter, so a good compromise is to go ahead and put a half note here. Just say that's where the beat is. So that's how we'll be counting it. However, it makes no effect. It has no effect on the way we write this out. So let's get started. Since we're working with the melody, I'm going to skip this intro part since we have no melody to work with, but I will keep note of how many bars we have going. Let's see. By the way, I should actually work out the key first. Okay, so it's resolving on C. So we are in the key of C major, and it has no sharps or flats, so we are good to go. So let's get started. 2, 3. I like how the strings are kind of holding out those two notes throughout the entire section there. Okay, so it's 8 bars with no melody. If I have enough time to put down the chords, I'll go back here and fill this up with chords. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave this blank and put a little double line here to signify the start of a new section. So here our melody begins. Let's see. I need to scroll back to where I was. Okay. So we have one quarter note here of space before the first note. I hear E and F. I do not have perfect pitch, but I heard the third and fourth scale degrees, and since I already know this is in C, that would be E and F. Yep. Oops, wrong app. I have my guitar with me. It's very useful to have an instrument with you when you're transcribing. Okay, so we have eighth notes. We have E, F, G, C, and we have a rest. It's actually an octave higher than this, but I will continue writing this thing out, and I'll add a little octave above line here in a moment. Okay, so we have G again. Lasts for quite a while. Okay. Music score is a little bit quiet. I'll turn it up. Wrong button. Okay. Do 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 do. I like that. So we have E, F and E, C, and G. Alright, I'll put another staccato marking right here. I like that. I like that a lot. It's very bouncy. We just had A and E, G here. That lasts out for quite a while. I could put a double dotted half note here to fill up this space, but nobody uses that, so I'm just going to put a dotted quarter tied to a half note. I'll just throw in a double. Yeah, there we go. Very long note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of fades out here. Still going. All right. So let me scroll ahead. Okay. Let me listen to the rest of that phrase just to see. What I'm probably going to do is copy and paste this and then change the notes that are different because it seems to have the same rhythm. Yes, it does. All right. So I'll just paste this right over here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think it was just C again. D and C. Let me listen again just to make sure. All right. Seems to be correct. However, okay, I could save time by doing a repeat and right here, this bar. Since the first 3 bars of these sections are exactly the same, and just put ending 1, it's this, ending 2, it's this. But, I mean, it's only saving me 3 bars. I don't think I'm going to bother with that at the moment. Okay. So the next section we have just more instruments coming in, but it's the same melody. I'm not going to worry about writing out the harmony or anything today. So here's the first section, next section. Go ahead and add a double bar line here. Whoopsie. Here. And that's where the harmony comes in. Do 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 do. And then we get this thing. Alright, so that goes to G throughout all three of these bars. More long notes. Let me scroll ahead a little bit. Alright, then we have the beginning of a new section. Alright. So that's all we have for the A section of the song. The entire A section before it goes on to the new part. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of repetition, which is very good for memorable melodies. Just with a little bit of changes towards the end. I talked about this in a video analyzing a Chrono Trigger song a couple months ago. How, see, this phrase ends on a G. Since we're in the key of C, the G is the fifth scale degree, so it's clear that this is not the end of the section. Whereas this one, this second time around, it ends on C, which kind of wraps things up nicely as we transition to the new section. I talked about just using specific scale degrees effectively to pull in certain directions or resolve, just depending on what you want to do. If you are interested in checking out that video, I'll have a link in the description. So anyway, everything here is an octave lower than in the actual melody. It's played on or it's supposed to be played on a woodwind, which is a very high range. And I could put a treble clef that would automatically take care of that, or I could just put an 8 VA line across the whole thing. I think I'm just going to do the treble clef, though, because that would make it a little bit easier to read, not as much information on the score. Everything has to be adjusted up an octave. All right, here we go. So it sounds like this now, which is much better. All right, so we start here. So we have a much higher melody at this point. Okay, so we have a very similar, we actually have the same rhythm as previously, but we have different chords and we have different notes, but we're keeping the same rhythm, which is really interesting. I'm going to start on A, go up to B and C, sorry, E, actually we don't have the same rhythm, very close to the same rhythm, but not quite. Oops. There we go. Doo-doo-doo. And tie those together. That lasts for the whole bar, and a little bit of the next one, I think. Yes, it does. Okay. So same rhythm. We're starting on different notes. Go down to E. C. Okay, cool. Again, the melody is very simple, and it's using a lot of repetition, repeated movements and rhythms, just with different notes, which gets a lot of mileage out of a basic idea. Okay. And then we get do do. I believe I know what chord that is. It sounds like a 13 sus4. Tie this together. Okay. So we have C here, and now we have a quick few notes there. Whoops, I need to extend that out a little bit. Didn't realize I did that. Okay. So that's it. That's all there is to it. I'll delete these bars because we don't need them. That is the song. It's pretty short. A lot of repeated lines, like I said. He gets a lot of mileage out of a very basic pattern here. Just a quarter note of a rest for climbing eighth notes, a rest here, a big long note here, and he kind of keeps that sort of motif going throughout the entire thing. Even in the B section of the song, it sounds radically different because he's using different notes and different chords and things, but he's keeping the same rhythm, which it makes it very memorable and easy to follow along to, and I think that's one of its strong points. I'm actually here. Let me do this. I'm gonna put the chords. I already worked out the beginning chords off screen. It's just a climb up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a D minor 7. From C to D minor 7 to C major 7 over E, to back down to D minor 7, and that just repeats. So I'll put that there so you have something here at the beginning. I'm not going to work out the rest of the chords right now. I don't really have the time. But maybe that's a good challenge for you guys if you want to try figuring them out for yourself and seeing how they work along with its harmony. I would suggest starting by transcribing the bass part and that'll give you a lot of information to work with. So here we are. It's a very simple song. I really debated working with repeat signs to try and shorten some of these things. If you want to see how they work, in my last couple transcription episodes where I was working with some Sonic the Hedgehog music, I used some repeat signs to kind of condense the score a little bit and make it a little bit more readable. But for this one, I'm not gonna bother with that, just because I think it might actually just be a little bit more complex to read that way. Repeat signs are all about readability and making things easy so you don't have a sea of notes, especially when you have stuff that's repeated. You don't want to get lost. But if it just makes things more complicated, then, writing stuff out the whole way is the best way to go. Because, again, readability is the entire goal of sheet music. So here we are. It was pretty simple to transcribe. Some quick notes here that were a little bit confusing, and I kind of messed up my thinking the way I was writing this out, but I fixed it in the end. So yeah, hopefully this helps you guys, and for those of you who are new to transcription, hopefully this inspires you to start working on transcriptions of your own. I think transcription is just such a vital part of being a musician and of learning music theory in general. Going through this, I thought about working out the chords, and one of the main reasons I didn't was because I came across a chord that I didn't understand. It made sense in my head. I knew what it was being used in place of, but I wasn't sure how to name it. And so that's going to give me something to study after this. And I'll probably post my findings in the Facebook group. If you want to join my Facebook group, it's at facebook.com/groups/ongakuconceptvgm. We talk about music theory and games and stuff on there. And I'll probably post my findings there. But I came across a chord that I don't really know how to name. And so I'm gonna spend some time looking at that and see what I come up with. But that's further proof, transcription is just such a great way of learning things. You come across all kinds of cool stuff. And so this score will be, you can check the description. I will have a download link to it if you want to study it. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can let me know at ongakuconcept@gmail.com or in the comments, if you will. And I'll see you guys next week.